Hey everyone, and welcome. So today we're going to dive into a philosophy that might just change the way you look at your phone and, well, your life forever. It's called digital minimalism. It's based on the incredible work of Cal Newport, and it's really all about taking back our attention in a world that feels like it's designed to steal it.
And you know the crazy part is, this isn't some hot take from an outsider. The alarm was sounded from inside Silicon Valley. When Tristan Harris, who used to be a design ethicist at Google, said, "This thing is a slot machine," he was not being dramatic. He was telling us exactly how it's designed to work.
All right, so to really get a handle on the solution, we first have to understand the problem. I mean, why exactly are these devices so sticky, so hard to just put down? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the mechanics of this digital slot machine.
Okay, so at the very heart of this is a business model called the attention economy. And the name says it all. In this economy, you aren't the customer. Your attention is the product. Companies literally sell your eyeball minutes to advertisers. And to get as many of those minutes as possible, they use a trick called intermittent positive reinforcement. It's a fancy term for unpredictable rewards. A like here, a new comment there. It's the exact same psychological principle that gets people hooked on slot machines in Vegas. Pull the lever, see what you get.
And look, this isn't just some clever bit of code. Nope, this goes way deeper. It's psychological. Our brains are fundamentally wired to seek social approval. It's how we survived in tribes for millennia. So these tools, they hijack that ancient need. A little notification, a like, it feels important, it feels urgent, because our brain literally can't tell the difference between that and a real-world social cue.
So that's the problem. It sounds pretty bleak, right? But what's the solution? Well, it's not about throwing your phone in a river and moving to a cabin in the woods, unless that's your thing, of course. It's about adopting a really clear, really intentional philosophy for how you engage with technology, one that puts your values back in the driver's seat.
And here it is. This is the big idea. Digital minimalism. It's not about being anti-tech. It's about being pro-intention. The magic words here are carefully selected and strongly support things you value. Basically, you decide what's truly important to you, and then you use technology as a sharp, focused tool to serve those values, and you learn to happily miss out on all the other noise.
And what's wild is that this idea, it isn't really new. Over 150 years ago, Henry David Thoreau was already thinking about this. He basically said, the true cost of anything isn't measured in dollars and cents. The real cost is the amount of your life, your time, your focus, your energy that you have to trade for it. Let's make that real for a second. Cal Newport actually does the math for us, and this is kind of mind-blowing. Let's say you have a 10-hour-a-week Twitter habit. Now, what if you dropped that and replaced it with something more meaningful that only takes, say, 3 hours a month, like going to a local club meeting? You know how many hours you just get back? 37. 37 extra hours a month. I mean, just pause and think about that. What would you do with that kind of time?
So that all sounds great, right? But how do you actually get there? Well, Newport doesn't just leave us with the philosophy, he gives us a practical method, a step-by-step process he calls the digital declutter. You can think of it like a detox, a full reset button for your digital life.
It's a pretty simple 3-step experiment. First, for 30 days, you take a break from all the optional tech. We're not talking about stuff you need for work, just the things you use in your downtime. Second, during that month, you go out and actively rediscover what you actually enjoy doing without screens. And then, at the end of the 30 days, you very carefully, very thoughtfully reintroduce only the technology that truly serves a purpose you value. And get this, over 1,600 people volunteered to try this with.
So what happened? Well, the results were, honestly, they were staggering. It wasn't just that people felt less anxious or distracted. With all that reclaimed time and focus, they started to accomplish real, tangible, amazing things. For instance, check this out. One participant, a guy named Kushbu, read 5 books in that 1 month. Before the declutter, he hadn't voluntarily read a single book in 3 years. Then there was someone else who finally picked up an instrument they'd always wanted to learn and just started playing the ukulele.
Another person used that newfound mental space to finally get that blog they've been dreaming about for years off the ground.
And this one is just wow. One woman realized she wasn't actually too busy to look for a new house after all. By the end of the 30 days, she'd found one she loved and put in an offer. A huge life decision made possible just by reclaiming her focus.
And this really gets to the heart of it, right? Digital minimalism isn't just about cutting things out. It's about what you add back in. So what do you fill all that reclaimed time with? For that, Newport suggests we look to an old idea from Theodore Roosevelt, living the strenuous life by rediscovering high-quality leisure.
You see, there's a world of difference between low-quality and high-quality leisure. Low quality is the passive stuff, the mindless scrolling, the binge-watching. It feels easy, but it just drains you. High-quality leisure, on the other hand, is active. It's creating something, learning a skill, really engaging with people. It might take more effort up front, but it's what actually recharges your batteries.
So the principles are pretty simple. Use your hands to make or fix something, solve real, tangible problems, and seek out structured social events in the real world. Think board game nights, a sports league, a CrossFit class. These things don't just kill time, they build real skills, and you end up creating these incredible community bonds.
And that brings us right back to that powerful number, doesn't it? Digital minimalism isn't really about what you're losing. It's about all the life you stand to gain. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what would you build or learn or create with an extra 37 hours a month? The choice, as always, is yours.